Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Good Morning with me, Misti B. So I have a question for you. How good do you really know your best friend? I ask that because today's guest is joining me from Los Angeles, and his best friend conned him out of $90,000. This is an episode you do not want to miss because he's going to share his story about how she was able to do that to him and many others. I'm going to see you guys right back with Johnathan Walton right after this break.
Real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford, financing, closing costs, mortgage, putting it on the market, considering offers, inspection, negotiations, submitting offers, schools, down payment, title insurance, home warranty, taxes, review net sheets. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call.
Most multivitamins have ignored the health and nutritional differences of African Americans. What we require is a multivitamin designed to best suit our needs.
After years of treating patients and fighting health disparities, Dr. Greg Hall, physician, researcher, and educator, created a formula of multivitamins specifically designed for African American men, women, and adults over 50. Sequence Vitamins, because our needs are different. Available at sequencevitamin.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Experience the pinnacle of performance at Big Star Cadillac, formerly Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $449 a month, or the new 2022 XT6 Luxury Collection for $549 a month, all for 39 months lease with just $1 down. At Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Big Star Cadillac, Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Smarter when you shop at Big Star. Shop BigStarCadillac.com.
I'm Johnathan Cox with the Cox Radio Law Firm. For years, we have represented people who have been hurt or injured all over the country, but Houston is home. We fight for those who have been hurt or injured, however it may happen. So if you've been injured in a car accident, big truck accident, or even while at work, call our injury hotline at 1-800-HURT-NOW or log in to BigCityAccidents.com and let us fight for you.
BigCityAccidents.com. We fight for your right to get back your life.
Well, welcome back, everyone. So listen, I told you that today's story will be very crazy. And you know what? I can explain it to you, or you can just take a look at this video.
Ready?
No.
My best friend is an Irish heiress.
She was royalty from Ireland.
She had a huge inheritance coming.
We're talking $30 million.
But it turns out Mair Smyth is not who she appears to be.
She wanted to pursue being a psychic full-time.
One of her big clients was Jennifer Aniston.
She wanted me to go into the sex toy industry with her.
She had multiple men paying her for sex.
She would do witchcraft for her clients.
Mair Smyth is actually an international con artist who scams me and many others out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And police are hunting for her from Los Angeles to Belfast.
She's left a trail of devastation in her wake.
I never met a woman that did that to me.
I just want to hurt her.
Here's 4 Irish-speaking mobsters standing there with automatic assault rifles.
It felt like I stepped into a soap opera all of a sudden.
I quickly learned the only way to get Mair Smyth is to out-con a con artist.
Oh my God, you're breaking me.
And my fight for justice takes me right to the brink.
This is not normal to be outside her place. I'm worried about you.
Look, man, I would rather die than let her get away.
Listen to Queen of the Con every Thursday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wow, what a story. Okay, so today's guest, Johnathan, are you here with me? Wow.
I am here.
so much for having me on, Misty. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. Okay, so Johnathan, you have to take me from the beginning to where you are now. Walk me through this story, and please don't miss anything good because I have all my tea and I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. You know, I wouldn't believe a word of it, but it happened to me. So it's 1,000% true that con artists are everywhere. And the reason you don't know about them is because victims don't talk. Most victims of con artists never tell you they got conned because they're ashamed and embarrassed. And I'm ashamed and embarrassed about what I'm about to tell you, but I have to share my story because in doing that, I found 46 other victims of my con artist and I put her in jail. And that's the only way we're going to stop. Listen, con artists are the sweetest, kindest. You know, my con artist introduced herself as Mair Smyth. She was a new neighbor in my building. And she was sweet as pie. She would wine and dine me and my husband at LA's fanciest restaurants. She was always offering to help people. She was helping another neighbor get a job. She was helping another neighbor. She was so kind. And I fell in love with her, you know, as much as any gay man can love a woman. She became my best friend quickly. And she started, you know, as soon as, looking back, this was her way into my life.
Okay.
When I told her that part of my family had disowned me for being gay, she said, "Oh, me too." And tears filled her eyes. You know that scene from Ghost, Demi Moore, when the tears bubble in her eyes?
Yes, I do. I love that movie.
She did that.
Mair had it. She had it perfectly.
Oh my God. And I felt so bad for her. She started telling me that, you know, her family disowned her because they're trying to get her disinherited from this, you know, 25 million euro estate she's supposed to be getting a big part of. And it wasn't just a story. She would show me texts and emails from her barristers. A barrister is a lawyer in Ireland. And she would show me emails from her lawyers in Los Angeles working on this inheritance. So it seemed real to me. Never
seemed
for
legitimate.
a second. Yeah, how many times has someone like shown you their phone and been like, "Look what so-and-so just texted me." Like, you don't for a second think, "Wait a minute, is that a Google Voice account you created to text yourself so you could sell me a story by impersonating someone?" No.
In your mind, Johnathan, you think like, who had the time or the energy to create this?
Well, I never even went that far. I just believed her. Like, that's okay. And I read the email from her barrister on her phone and I'm like, okay, wow, millions of dollars. Wow. So, you know, I all of a sudden, and it sounds stupid saying this out loud, but she scammed me out of close to $100,000. You know, I was helping an Irish heiress get her inheritance.
Wow. Okay. So what year did you first meet her?
I met her in May of 2013.
Okay. So May of 2013. And when did she scam you? Or I guess she was scamming you the whole time, but.
Yeah, so we were best friends for 4 years, and it was over 4 years she scammed me out of close to $100,000. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to me, she was scamming dozens of other people in Los Angeles. She impersonated a psychologist. She pretended to be best friends with Jennifer Aniston to scam the head of a production company. She scammed a Los Angeles politician out of $50,000.
Wow.
She had all these brilliant, it's like, remember you see those guys spinning the plates on the poles? That was her, except they weren't plates, they were scams. And she had all of them working at the same time. She was brilliant that way. And, you know, I had no idea. Oh, this is my dog. Hey.
That's okay. Hey, Mair, you want to come on the show? So let me ask you, Johnathan, so when did you realize, something's not right?
So it was the fourth, you know, we're 4 years into our friendship. I've been lending her money, and she paid me back the first $4,200 I ever loaned her.
Okay.
And I thought that made me confident to loan her more money.
Okay.
But that happens in every con. They call it wetting your beak. You see a little bit of your money back, you think, oh, this person's good for it. Doesn't matter if it's a love con or an investment con. Any kind of con artist is short for confidence artist. So when she paid me that money back, I felt comfortable loaning her more because I'm helping her get her inheritance, you know? And, you know, eventually she tricks me into believing her family is working with a dirty district attorney in Los Angeles. And she's showing me texts and emails from her hateful cousin Finton, calling her the C word and everything. And she'd cry. And I believed it. I mean, when a woman cries in front of me, I believe her. I know that now. So eventually I loaned her money to live on. You know, she moved out of our apartment building into an expensive apartment. She starts working as a psychic and she claims Jennifer Aniston's her big client. And she would show, texts and emails from Jennifer Aniston. Look, my friend Jen just texted.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy story. So it wasn't until 4 years in I catch her in the first lie.
Ooh. Okay. What was that lie? Can you share?
I can share. So she had told me she had to do a 30-day jail sentence because a judge was punishing her, and this was all related to the inheritance. A judge was punishing her with inadvertent money laundering because I let her charge my credit cards thousands of dollars to help pay this legal fee. And she said the judge thought that was money laundering. So 30 days in jail. So while she's in jail, I go visit her because by this point, she's like a sister to me. We're ending phone calls with, I love you, I love you. And I know her family is trying to destroy her because I've seen all those hateful emails and texts. So I log on to the jail's website to schedule a visit. And that's when I catch her in the first lie. She was not serving a 30-day jail sentence for money laundering. She was in there for felony grand theft. She stole $200,000 from a travel agency, and she scammed me to pay restitution, $50,000 in restitution to the travel agency. And part of that restitution deal meant she had to serve 30 days in jail. So when I picked her up, I confronted her, and we played that. I recorded it on my iPhone. Thank you, Steve Jobs. On the voice memos on my iPhone, I recorded the confrontation, and we play that confrontation in my new podcast, Queen of the Con, the Irish Heiress, available wherever you get your podcasts. That is in episode 3. It is insane. So once I found her in that first lie, I started finding everything she told me about her life was a lie. She was not from Ireland. She was born in Bangor, Maine. I snuck into a law school library and used their LexisNexis system and did multiple background searches.
Okay, Johnathan, hold that thought really quickly. We have to take a really quick break, but we're going to come back. This is a very interesting story. All righty, guys, I will be right back because we're going to learn more about this story so that you can avoid this. See you in just a second.
Real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Financing, closing costs, mortgage, putting it on the market, considering offers, inspection, negotiations, submitting offers, schools, down payment, title insurance, home warranty, taxes, review net sheets. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call.
Most multivitamins have ignored the health and nutritional differences of African Americans. What we require is a multivitamin designed to best suit our needs.
After years of treating patients and fighting health disparities, Dr. Greg Hall, physician, researcher, and educator, created a formula of multivitamins specifically designed for African American men, women, and adults over 50. Sequence Vitamins, because our needs are different. Available at sequencevitamin.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Experience the pinnacle of performance at Big Star Cadillac, formerly Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $449 a month, or the new 2022 XT6 Luxury Collection for $549 a month, all for 39 months lease with just $1 down. At Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Big Star Cadillac, Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Smarter when you shop at Big Star. Shop BigStarCadillac.com.
I'm Johnathan Cox with the Cox Radio Law Firm. For years, we have represented people who have been hurt or injured all over the country, but Houston is home. We fight for those who have been hurt or injured, however it may happen. So if you've been injured in a car accident, big truck accident, or even while at work, call our injury hotline at 1-800-HURT-NOW or log in to BigCityAccidents.com and let us fight for you.
BigCityAccidents.com. We fight for your right to get back your life.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, so Johnathan, You launched this investigation, right? You have your own investigative skills because you're a reporter, producer, all of this greatness. And, you find all this stuff out. Where is she now?
Well, I eventually, when I went to police, they didn't want to do anything, but I convinced them to take a report, and I badgered them until they filed charges. She went to jail. She got convicted of scamming me, and she got a 5-year jail sentence. But guess what?
What?
COVID happened. So she is out of jail now, and she has
Wait, back up. You said COVID happened, so now she's out of jail? So COVID is
Well, yeah, in California, they released tens of thousands of nonviolent offenders because of COVID, trying to stem the spread. Yeah, so she was one of the lucky ones. She got out years early, and she fled California. So, she is, that's her in the middle.
Yeah.
She has many different looks. She's the life of the party. And I would just advise anyone watching, the next time a kind and loving stranger enters your life, maybe it's a new boyfriend, maybe it's a new girlfriend, maybe it's a new neighbor, a new coworker. Look at her. She's a master of disguise.
She is a master of disguise.
Different crime to crime. Yeah, she's got a string of felonies for fraud, grand theft, passing bad checks, forging stuff in multiple states. And
so let me ask you this. How long did she actually serve?
She served about 2 years of her 5-year sentence.
Okay, so I wonder if she learned any lessons, but more importantly, what lessons, positive lessons, would you say you've taken away from this very unique experience?
Well, I have been made whole again thanks to iHeartRadio and doing this podcast. They paid me, I made back the money she scammed me out of, and I got to interview 20-something victims. And the stories in the podcast, it's called Queen of the Con, the Irish Heiress. It's available anywhere you get your podcast. Search Queen of the Con. I thought I knew all the scams she pulled. I had no idea. She almost tricked a guy. She was dating this Newport Beach engineer, and she told him she's going to buy this $12 million mansion and put his name on it. She wants to share it with him because she's in love with him. And she drew up the paperwork so he could add her name to the title of his 2 Newport Beach homes so they could be equal.
Wow.
And he was about to do it until he found my blog. I started a blog after I got conned. I recommend any victim who gets conned to go public with your story, because I found 46 other victims in Florida, in Michigan, in Tennessee, in Maine, in Northern Ireland that she scammed. She used her own daughter. She would use her daughter to get into victims' lives. She'd target single mothers, and she'd offer her daughter to babysit and get into their lives that way. Then she'd rob them blind. She's wanted in Northern Ireland right now for scamming 26 victims out of $500,000.
Wow, let me ask you this, Johnathan. So looking back, prior to her actually going to jail for the grand theft, that she did, any red flags that you feel like you might have seen but you just kind of ignored?
Well, the red flag, and it hurts me to say this, but the red flag is kindness.
Ooh.
If you meet a stranger and they're so kind and loving and giving, and they just want to help, be suspicious. Because people aren't that kind. People are not that kind. That is a red flag. But at the time, I was naive. I thought artists were things you'd see in movies. One of my favorite movies of all time, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Michael Caine, Steve Martin. So funny. I thought that was a make-believe. But no, there are people walking around conning people full time, and nobody's talking about it because victims are so ashamed they fell for it. Even me. I was helping an Irish heiress get her inheritance. How stupid does that sound? But it's true. And I got taken, and people are getting taken every day. Wake up, people. Talk about what's happening.
That's true. And how much money overall would you say Mair Smyth actually scammed or conned people out of?
Oh, close to $1 million easy.
Wow.
46 victims. Yeah, she's been conning. On the podcast, Queen of the Con, we talked to her childhood friend, Jen Westwood. Knew her at 11 years old. At 11 years old, my con artist was also 11 years old. She tricked this little girl, as a little girl herself, to go into a stranger's house, go into a stranger's bedroom, try on a stranger's clothes, and take a picture.
Oh.
And Jen was telling me in the interview, I had no idea. To this day, I don't know why she did that. And I can tell you why. Because she's a psychopath, even at 11 years old, flexing her muscle of manipulation. She wants to know at 11 years old, can I get this little girl to do these strange things? Do I have that power over her? Yes, I do, and yes, I can. And she
Wow.
did. So
Wow.
she's been a con artist her entire life.
She sounds like a master at this. Like,
Oh, by the time she got to me, yeah, she was a pro. She was at the pinnacle of her career, if you will. Yeah, and that's how a good con artist can get anyone, especially if you don't think con artists are real, and especially if you think there's no way I could be conned. I'm too smart for that. Well, here's a newsflash. Con artists don't outsmart you. Con artists outfeel you. They use your emotion, your heart against you. Because once you start making decisions with your heart, you're screwed. If you love someone like I loved her, like a sister, you won't make intelligent decisions. You'll make heart-based decisions. You want to help her. She's in trouble. And, that's what you have to be wary of. But by the time you fall in love with a con artist, it's too late.
Too late. Let me ask you this. You said something that I love to hear, that when you said all the money that she took you for, all the money she conned you out of, you've gotten it back with your podcast. What was the moment for you, Johnathan, where you said, you know what, I'm going to launch a podcast? How did that come about?
So I was about 7 months into my investigation. And by then I'd started a website, JonathanWalton.com, to share my story. And I started hearing from so many other victims of this woman with insane stories. She impersonated psychologists. She practiced witchcraft and cast spells with dragon's blood and chicken bones, and she was a sugar baby. You know what a sugar baby is?
I do. Someone asked me to be one and I said no, but go ahead.
Well, here's her sugar baby con. She would target married men. They'd be paying her a monthly fee for sex. She had dozens of these men. Wow. And then when they wanted to end the arrangement, she'd threaten to blackmail them, go to their wives. So they'd all pay her thousands of dollars to go away. So as soon as I started hearing all these stories, I'm like, damn, this is like a podcast. This is a movie. This is a TV show. This is insane.
Yeah.
So that's when I got the idea, almost a year in.
And how has it been so far? I've heard you have been very successful.
Yes, thank God. iHeartRadio, we're in the top 30. We just got released a couple weeks ago, and we cracked the top 30 podcasts in the world, and we're the number 13 true crime podcast. So, and we're growing. New episodes drop every Thursday. The episode that's dropping this Thursday is episode number 4, and it's about how she tried to trick a Newport Beach engineer to adding her name to the title of his 2 homes because she was going to buy this $12 million mansion. Listen to this. She got a realtor. She toured this mansion a dozen times. She brought him and his kids to pick out their bedrooms, right? She put in an offer. All on a bluff. All on a bluff.
Johnathan, our time is up. Our time is up, but I'm going to catch more of this on the podcast because it's almost too good to be true, the information, but it's something that we need to know. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me this morning.
Thank you, Miss. It was a pleasure speaking.
Same here, same here. So listen, guys, we just have to make sure that we are always alert and aware. I am going to be right back right after this break. See you in just a second.
Real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Financing, closing costs, mortgage, putting it on the market, considering offers, inspection, negotiations, submitting offers, schools, down payment, title insurance, home warranty, taxes, review net sheets. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call.
Most multivitamins have ignored the health and nutritional differences of African Americans. What we require is a multivitamin designed to best suit our needs.
After years of treating patients and fighting health disparities, Dr. Greg Hall, physician, researcher, and educator, created a formula of multivitamins specifically designed for African American men, women, and adults over 50. Sequence Vitamins, because our needs are different. Available at sequencevitamin.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy. Because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Experience the pinnacle of performance at Big Star Cadillac, formerly Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $449 a month, or the new 2022 XT6 Luxury Collection for $549 a month, all for 39 months lease with just $1 down. At Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Big Star Cadillac, Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Smarter when you shop at Big Star. Shop BigStarCadillac.com.
I'm Johnathan Cox with the Cox Radio Law Firm. For years, we have represented people who have been hurt or injured all over the country, but Houston is home. We fight for those who have been hurt or injured, however it may happen. So if you've been injured in a car accident, big truck accident, or even while at work, call our injury hotline at 1-800-HURT-NOW or log in to BigCityAccidents.com and let us fight for you.
BigCityAccidents.com. We fight for your right to get back your life.
Welcome back, everyone. Wow, that's literally all I can say about Johnathan's story is wow. I am left speechless. So listen, you know, I'm all about authenticity and about trusting who you are and knowing who you are. And so after listening to Johnathan, I really want to encourage all of us, trust your gut. Trust what you feel about a certain person, a certain situation, because no one knows you better than you. And, you know, I hope this never happens to any of us, but he said something that really resonated with me. If you think you're too smart to be conned, you might be the person who might get conned. So never think that you're that smart, okay? As always, you can chat with us on Facebook and on Instagram at American Star TV. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye-bye.